Hey YouTube, what's going on? Courtsoul here. Today we got the guide for the Hollow Lair GrandMaster NightFall strike. For this strike, you are going to need to have overload bows and unstoppable fusion rifles. I would recommend that each person on your team has one different element of each fusion rifle, as there are going to be void, solar, and arc shields, and it's the easiest way for everyone to have all elements covered without compromising their subclass. For fusion rifles, I recommend Cartesian coordinate for solar, plug 1 for arc, and null composure for void. For warlocks, I would recommend to use stasis with your stasis turret. Titans, I would recommend to use Ursa Furiosa with middle tree sentinel. And hunters, I would recommend to use bottom tree tether with the Ominoculus chest piece. To start off the nightfall, you're going to spawn into patrol. Be careful here because all enemies in patrol here will deal the same amount of damage as Grandmaster enemies. So I'd recommend just getting through here. Try not to be noticed by any enemies. Usually if you run in with your Sparrow, you won't get shot. In the entrance to the strike as well, just clear out those enemies, put in a Warlock Rift or a 10 barricade behind you to make sure you don't get killed by enemies behind you. Once you enter the first room, note that there will be one unstoppable to your right and one overload in the far back of the room. Entering the second room, there will be two unstoppables and one mini boss. Note that this room is the first room where you will notice the mini screams killed once you kill Scorn Stalkers. So be careful for that, because if they do hit you, they will one-shot you. The third room has one unstoppable champion and one overload at the start. I recommend killing the snipers as quickly as you can, then take care of the unstoppable champion. Move into the right side of the room and finish off the overload. Once all the ads are clear, take down the plate and move back to the far right of the room where there is a little hut. Use these stairs as cover as well. There are now going to be two more unstoppables, one on the left and one on the right. Make sure to take out the left champion, kill any enemies in the middle, watch out for the mini screams, and peek shoot the right champion to stun it and then kill it. Now what I recommend to do here, get all three of you to just rush in with your fusion rifles and kill the tank to avoid a second wave of enemies spawning. If you do not kill the tank as quickly as you can in one phase, then there will be another group of enemies. I don't believe there are any champions that spawn. There are going to be a bunch of stasis wielding Scorn, so be careful for that. Once you move past the tank room, there will be one unstoppable and a couple of ads on your way to the room with two more plates. When you enter the plate room, there will be two overloads, one on the left and one on the right. I suggest to clear all the ads as possible and then focus on either the left or right overload. Once you kill one of them, focus on the last one and then take down one of the two plates. When one plate has been taken down, there will be another wave of enemies. Once you take down that wave of enemies, then I recommend to take down the final plate. Once both plates have been taken down, then the mini boss will spawn along with two more overload champions. For our group, we found it easier to kill the mini boss instead of the overloads first, because that way we don't have to keep stunning. Whichever way is easier for your group, do that. If it's easier for you to take out the overloads first and then the mini boss, then do that. For our group, we found it easier to take out the mini boss. Once you've taken out this room, move on to the final room before the boss room. Once you enter the sixth room, there will be one overload champion behind the two spinning obstacles on the bridge. Once you kill the one overload, there will be two unsolved champions in the far back of the room when you approach it. Use the stairs as cover here. It's really easy to wipe in this room due to the screeps, snipers, and unstoppables. Do not get overconfident, or what happened to my fire team will happen to you. Now that we're in the boss room, here are my notes and suggestions on how to easily beat this boss without wiping. Use the two broken servitors in the start of the room as cover. Take your time in this room so that you don't get overwhelmed by ads. Instead of melting the boss right away, just kill the enemies that spawn on the left or the right. If you try to melt the boss too quickly, you will get overrun by ads, so make sure that you are taking your time. You're not trying to rush through this gym, because at the end of the day, it's a Grandmaster. You can't really speedrun these things, because if you try to, you're going to get overwhelmed and your team's going to wipe. Be really careful when and where you kill stalkers. It's better to keep one alive than to keep one near yourself or an enemy, as they will spawn a mini scream that will one-shot if it explodes on you. They also like to crawl on walls, so be careful for that. Once the boss teleports and spawns the first big wave of ads, there will also spawn an overload champion. Make sure that all the ads are dead in the room before you try to damage the boss, so that you don't get shot out of midair when you are teleported. When the second big wave of enemies spawn, there will be an unstoppable champion that spawns at the end of the wave. Now overall, the boss room is probably the easiest encounter to strike. It's just ad control. Always focus on snipers over anything else, as they will one-shot across the room. And that's the Hollow Lair, guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. From here on out, it'll just be the full playthrough of our first clear through this GM. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. And just watch the rest of the video if you have any questions on that as well. Just see how we handled it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscription down below. Follow me on Twitter. Join our Discord. And as always, have a good rest of your day. Courtsoul out.
Get that door open. in town.